Hey guys, there's been much discussion lately on the issue of whether or not a bakery has the right to refuse a customer's request and make a certain kind of cake. Now, I think there's actually an easy way around this, and I'm going to dub it the on the menu law. Now, just a quick example of the on the menu law is something like this. You can't go to McDonald's and say, give me a slice of pizza. Why? Because that's not what McDonald's does. They don't have pizza on the menu, or at least in my area. So, when you walk into a McDonald's, you buy what's on their menu. No arguments. You don't expect, something you want that's not on the menu that they have to give it to you, right? So, all these bakeries, they should really instill that law, and maybe every place that sells food for that matter, where you have a certain menu. When you come into the establishment, this is what we do. This is what we make. Now, if you want to have an establishment that makes custom orders, where anything you can imagine we can come up with, then you hang that up somewhere in the shop that we respect the on-the-menu law, but we also do custom orders, which would be good for certain businesses because now you'll get, more customers because you're making cakes, that maybe some establishments might find objectionable, but you'll make them, okay? This particular case of late was, I believe, had to do with homosexuality and morals or whatever. But even if it's not homosexuality, what if you own a bakery and somebody comes in and says, I want a cake with a big penis and a vagina on it? You might not want to make something like that or be part of it. Or if somebody says, imagine a white guy going into a black-owned bakery and saying, give me a cake that says, I hate black people. I mean, should that bakery owner have to make that cake? Now, obviously, there's differences between these examples. I know that. But just look at yourself, like, as an individual. Like, you have certain rights, as a human being. Why is it that we expect that everybody just has to give in to our whims and do what we say, or else? But, again, you walk into an establishment that caters to everybody, but they don't want to make your particular cake. Yeah, I guess rights are violated, but there's an easier way around that, the on-the-menu law. Again, you go into an establishment, this is what we do, If it's not on the menu, we don't do it. It might sound silly, but there's something to it, Instead of fighting over shit, just come up with some kind of rules.